We're going to work on, from a leg press position, what we call levers, prying the arm free. We want to get that arm out straight. And I have JT on top and Mike on the bottom demonstrating for us. And notice that JT's doing a good leg press position. He's controlling. And notice in this case, with his left arm, he's got Mike's left arm trapped. And let's do that the thigh lever first, where you do that one. So look at his right arm. Before you come on back a little bit, JT, before you start again. Look at his right hand on his own right thigh, or left hand on his right thigh, I should say. And see, now that's a key thing to do. Okay. All right. Now what he's going to do here, he can just turn and lift his hip up and prop that free and then take it. So go ahead and do that if you would. Just prop it free. Boom. And let's look at, really kind of sell that a little bit, JT, where you pop up on that hip so everybody can see it here. See how you turn that way? That's prying it free. And that's a really good prying action, levering that arm out straight. So go ahead and do it like you really be doing it in a fight. And pry it free. There you go. Pop it right out. So that lever, that thigh lever and a turn really does help. Okay, pop it free. Okay. Now let's just go the real basic one that a lot of people do. It works. You just hug his arm real tight to your, and just roll back and take it. Pry it back, okay? Or you could go back toward his shoulder a bit and pry it. So go ahead and keep them hooked all the way and tight. Go ahead and finish it out there. And you see how that's, hey, that's basic. It works. It works a lot, actually. So don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed of doing it. Some other ones, JT, help me remember. How about the pushing with the feet? We see this once in a while. Notice with, in this case, his left leg that's closest to Mike's legs. He uses his heel to push against Mike's biceps and kick it free. Or he might use his other leg, kick it free. Okay? Or he might use both of them to kick him free. All right? So those are some good basic ways of levering the arm free. Another way is to keep him hooked there. Okay, now go ahead and grab both hands on his far elbow. So JT, grab both hands, and it's just an arm hug, we call arm hug, and he drags the far arm, and as he's dragging him free, he catches him. Kind of do that a little more realistically because I was talking through it. Grab, and quickly hook, and you finish it. Okay, so there are a couple of basic ways of doing that. Okay, let's look at some compressions. Now, remember, there are a lot of ways to lever an arm free, and these all work. That's why we're including them in this video. They all work. Show us some compression locks from this. The bent arm compression locks that really aren't JUJI Gatames, but from a leg press position, they're pretty darn nasty. And you could, even if the guy is a tough guy and won't tap out, you could pull it straight from there. So go ahead and talk us through it a little bit, JT.
Sure. Number one thing when you start yanking on a guy's arm is he's going to bring it back. It actually works better for this because this is actually going to be where the compression starts. And I'm going to be separating his elbow and his forearm. What I do is I come across, I can figure 4 right here, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and lift. You can see he's getting ready to tap. What's happening is my forearm is right here occupying space, and when he does that, it tightens all that space right there. So what I'm going to do is I come up and I squeeze, becomes a compression.
And that's, some people call that a slicer as well.
Call it, yeah, you can call it a bicep slicer.
Bicep slicer.
You know, the key to it is I don't just press down, I want to bring it to me. Because when I bring it to me, that space closes up and that goes down. If Mike didn't have this hand here, or even like an S grip, it's even going to be more because I have more space to cover and I bring it down that way.
Right.
So, I mean, the key to it is basically bring it to you, press down, and in a fight or in a competition, I like it because I go like that. I either get the tap or it hurts so bad, knocks it free.
Yeah. Pulls it out free. Now, you can also use your legs to add more pressure on these compression locks.
Exactly. What I do without rolling back really is come up and I go right here and I'm sitting right there and I lean back with that one because I want the space of my...
So you're pushing down with your left leg on his arms.
It's nice and tight there
as you're doing the compression.
Here, right there, it's the figure 4 with my leg basically.
Right.
Another way, you can triangle it. So we're here, I come here, and let's say he's tough. Mike knows what's happening, that's why his leg's up. I'm going to come across for double pressure. Now, that arm might go, which is fine, because I've locked up here, and I'm squeezing, creating that compression.
Now again, we want to point out these aren't JUJI GATAME. These are actually classified as udegarami, or a bent arm lock. And often a bent arm lock is so nasty when you do it as a compression lock. And a compression lock is any time you have an arm trapping the inside of the arm, as JT is doing here. Look at his left arm, and now he's providing the leverage and making it hurt. So that's a classic example of a compression lock. Okay. Another one, can we have Sandy come on in? And Mike, stay there. We're going to show a very popular one. It's an oldie but a goodie because it works. And this is kind of a bent arm lock to get the JUJI. So Sandy, go ahead and start it. Go ahead, and you're doing your JUJI GATAME. And she's caught a lot of women in her career with this. See how she starts there? Now look at how with her right arm, that's the arm closest to the head, she's trapped that through, and Mike's left arm is trapped. Look how she's grabbed herself. Now watch what she's going to do with her other arm. She's going to put her elbow on the inside. Now she's just doing this. She would probably keep her hands together and loop them over, but we're showing this for now. So you can see how she has now bent his arm. See, her left arm is on the inside of his left, or elbow on the inside of his left elbow, and she cranks it, so she turns that and she rolls back into a JUJI. Let's get another view of this here so you can see how she's doing it. She traps it. See how she grabs her hands together. Now with her left elbow, she's pushing on Mike's left elbow, turning it. There she's got a nice bent arm lock. She could maybe win with that one, but if he's a tough guy and doesn't tap out, she comes over and she finishes out with a JUJI and gets the tap out. So one more time, just you know, a little more normal speed like you would normally do it. There you go. See how she grabs her hands and does that? There's several ways of doing this. You can grab your hands together or whatnot initially and crank it in. That works just as well. Those are very popular and they are effective. And some people, yeah, you could go the opposite. Hey, there you go, Sandy. Thanks for bringing that up. We can do that just as well the other way. Notice how she's trapped and trapped. Let's take a look at what Sandy's doing. Sandy, stay there. With your left hand, you're coming up high, aren't you? With your right hand, you're going to trap low. So we have a high and a low controlling position to get that lever. You can see how her hands are. See how her left hand is high on Mike's wrist area? Bone to bone, okay? Now her left arm is trapping, okay? And she gets that closer, and now she looks how she cranks that, and she bends it the other way. And if the guy resisted, she could straighten it out for a nice JUJI GATAME. So there we have several levers. Once you get your opponent on his back, rolling him over, he's not going to lay there and let you lock his arm. You're going to have to lever that arm free. And these are some levers, and we're showing these a lot in a no-gi situation because they work in a gi situation just as well. Okay, speak up, Sandy.
When I do this and I get here and here, just to give me more anchor.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, good points. Notice how she's trapping even more with her legs when she does this. Look how she rolls back. So with her knees, she's really trapping it, and her legs, and she's drawing his head back with her right. See how she's drawing his head back? Do that one more time. Mike loves this, I know. And there we have that, and draw it back, and we have that. So there you have several levers, all work. There are more. Read our book, JUJI GATAME Encyclopedia. We have them, but we can cram in here on this video. So thanks a lot.